According to a recent study by the Pew Charitable Trusts, achieving the American dream may depend on which state in the country you live. The study measured the economic mobility of people over a 10-year time period. The findings indicate that Oklahoma is one of the toughest places in the country to get ahead.
Everything costs more, but you have not increased your standard of living in some time. If that statement applies to you, then you are representative of Oklahomans analyzed over a 10-year period by the Pew Charitable Trusts study on the states. Louisiana, South Carolina share the same status as Oklahoma, and it isn't good.
Oklahoma was near the very, very bottom. On every measure of economic mobility, it ranked at or near the bottom of all the states in terms of how well Oklahomans do compared to the average American in improving their earnings over a lifetime.
Kate Ritchie is with the Oklahoma Policy Institute. She has reviewed the Pew study, which shows only 30% of Oklahomans experienced upward economic mobility in a 10-year period, compared to the national average of 34%. She says the Pew study also shows when compared to people in the rest of the nation, Oklahomans are in many cases descending the economic ladder.
In fact, in terms of downward economic mobility, we ranked highest. So Oklahomans are more likely than the average American during their prime working years to make less money over time when adjusted for inflation than to make more money over time.
So why are Oklahomans not faring as well as the rest of the nation?
Perhaps the most prominent one is the lack of educational attainment. Oklahoma citizens are less likely to earn a college degree, to complete college, to get that higher level of training and that higher level of human capital that leads to greater upward mobility.
Dr. Mickey Hepner is the College of Business Dean at the University of Central Oklahoma. He says lawmakers aren't making education a priority.
We still have a state where the per pupil education funding in Oklahoma ranks 49th in the nation. That is, to me, that's an appalling figure, an appalling number, and so that to me should be our highest priority going forward, and unfortunately I don't always see that being made a high priority for us.
Policy analyst Ritchie also says education strongly correlates with earning potential, but she says there is another reason Oklahomans aren't enjoying upward economic mobility.
We are a low-wage work state. We don't have enough high-paying jobs to go around. 1 in 3 jobs in Oklahoma is a low-wage job. So when you have a finite amount of people, struggling to earn those and to work for those high-paying employers, some people are going to get left out and fall behind, and a small number of people will get ahead.
Alfie Harris is one of those struggling to improve his economic status.
I want not just a job, I want a career, and those sorts of opportunities are scarce.
Harris completed 3 years of college, but says he had to drop out to raise his nieces and nephews.
I'm just now reintroducing myself into the market. I need to learn new job skills in order to make myself viable, but it's extremely difficult unless you have specialized skills to find meaningful employment, I found.
Sarah Smith has a 2-year associate's degree in business administration, and she says she's struggling to find a job. So where do you hope to be in 10 years?
I hope, not here, not in the situation I'm in right now. I hope not to be down at DHS trying to get food stamps because I can't support myself.
And many who do have jobs are struggling to support themselves. Take state workers, for example. 34,000 people are on the state payroll, and they haven't had a pay raise in 6 years.
We've lost 3,000 state employees since 2009, so people are doing more, plus their buying power is less without a pay raise since 2006.
Trish Frazier is the Policy and Research Director for the Oklahoma Public Employees Association.
We believe a lot of people are getting upwardly mobile by leaving the state, in that it costs the state $90 million a year in turnover because people are leaving the state service for other jobs, whether they're leaving the state of Oklahoma or they are leaving for private sector jobs. The turnover is that bad.
To explain the reason for the high turnover, she points to a report from the State Office of Personnel Management, which analyzed employees' compensation.
Compared to a person in the private sector or another government jurisdiction doing the same job, we're 19% below them.
The people who have remained at those jobs are not getting pay raises or pay adjustments, and so they are seeing their real incomes fall. And that's true at, in education, common and higher education, and other government agencies as well.
Still, Hepner does see some positive trends in the private sector.
The Oklahoma economy is performing relatively well. We are growing faster than most of the other states. On a per capita basis, the Oklahoma economy is growing at the 15th fastest pace in the nation. Our per capita personal income since 2000 has grown at the 7th fastest pace in the nation. Our median household income has grown at the 4th fastest pace in the nation. So we are running really fast. What this data also shows us is that Oklahoma is still behind. We're catching up, we're doing better, but we haven't caught up yet.
What this study did is it drilled down a little deeper and said, okay, well, overall, the state might be getting richer. Who's getting richer? And, you know, looking at people who work for a living and you maybe earn an hourly wage or earn a salary and maybe don't have something else like property or, mineral holdings to earn money off of.
Ritchie believes in order to improve the economic status of Oklahomans, the state needs to do better when it comes to job creation.
Support the development of high quality employment, not just low wage work. So when we think about the decisions we make in terms of economic development, who we attract to Oklahoma, what businesses that we want to come here, and when we design incentives, we need to design incentives that attract high quality jobs, jobs that pay a living wage, and make sure that everybody has access to a job that pays a living wage. Otherwise, this trend that we see in earnings inequality, what put Oklahoma at the bottom of that list will continue.